I recently released a video with Greg McEwen, who wrote the book Essentialism, and he talks
Really good
about...
book.
What's that?
Really good.
Amazing, yeah. And his kind of is more of it's very similar, and for a lot of people, it could be the same exact thing as minimalism. I think he focuses much less on the stuff and the things in our lives, and just goes to how we make our decisions and how are we spending our time and our energy, which I think is the eventual point of minimalism. Yeah. But he talks about the paradox of success, is that when you get more success, it's not always a good thing, because then you have a lot more opportunities. In the beginning, you have to say yes to as much as you can. And I know you guys have talked about this quite a bit, to the point where you can then start to say no. But then if you continue to have that mindset, I'm always going to say yes to every opportunity that comes in, then you're very likely not going to have the time that you originally had to make the work that made you successful, or that got you to that place that you currently are.
Yeah, I don't know when that tipping point is, but yeah, there definitely is a point where it's like you have to start saying no a lot more than what you say yes. Do you know?
Yeah, sorry, I have a question. Like, how do you guys? This is something that I'm struggling with now, because I do get a lot of requests for people. Hey, you want to get coffee, or you want to do this? Can I come on your podcast? How have you guys found to tactfully say no to people?
Well, we set the expectation up like on our website. Like, as soon as I get someone's like, "Hey, I have an essay I'd like to share on your blog," I'm like, "Well, then you don't read our blog, because we don't take guest essays." So like, I just ignore emails like that. But you can set up the expectation, whether it's on your YouTube page or wherever your profiles are, that sets the expectation of like, if you want to have an interview with me, like email this email address. Like, we have a lot of media requests. We have someone to handle that for us, and then they get to say no. Same thing with speaking gigs too. It's like, we have Andrew who, like, he gets to be the guy who says no. It's not us having to say no anymore.
What if it's somebody that's kind of within the circle, that may be a friend of a friend, that may be somebody that you feel like, oh, I kind of should, because I know this person that knows this person?
I'll give you a tactful way. I'll give you a specific example, but I mean, the pithy answer that I often use is like, say yes until you have to say no, and then say no until you have to say yes. And that's exactly what you were talking about earlier. Like, early on, it's like, say yes to every project, free projects. You build your portfolio, connect with people, network until you get those successes. That's important, right? But now what you're saying is, you're at this point where it's time to start saying no until you have to say yes, or till you get to say yes. Like, the Gary Vee thing is like something you get to say yes to, right? Yeah. You did the interview with him and put that all on your channel. Now you get to say yes to these things. But you sent me a friend of a friend who has chemical sensitivities, and he was trying to like find an apartment. And I've had a bunch of health issues recently, and I just haven't had the bandwidth. And I just had to be honest. So for me, the way that I address this a lot is, I don't have the bandwidth to do this. Thank you for understanding.
And that is the other key, is like saying no in a way that helps people understand. So you're saying no, but you are letting them know very clearly what you're saying yes to.
I think the problem that I have is that when I say no, I always say, but maybe in a couple months. Reach out in a couple months, and then they always reach out.
Is that true though?
I kind of maybe feel that. You know what I mean? Okay. It makes me feel good, but also I know whenever it always comes, I'm always like, oh, I still don't want to do this.
Right. Yeah.